I am Slick Nick, the living legend of hair loss. We need to talk about something. Let's check out two comments that came back to back about 24 hours ago when I was wearing a different colored shirt, probably yellow. Yep, sure enough, it was a yellow shirt. So Mustafa Khan had this comment to say, back to hair vids. And then like an hour later, someone else, a different person altogether that has the same last name, that goes by KS Khan, spelled the same way, said, you're back to doing hair loss videos. So that was something that some people, because it's been almost a week now since we've gone pompadour undercut over here. And so that was the concept coming in. And here's what it made me think about today. Because for people who are just now realizing, okay, after retiring twice from doing hair videos this year alone, and plus I retired once last year in 2019, something you can clearly see is I don't really want to do hair videos. I've openly talked about that, but ultimately it's the most popular thing I can do on a video, and it makes me the most ad revenue. So what do you do when you have this paradox of you're good at talking about something that people relate to and care about, but you don't personally care about it at all? And ultimately, do you just cash the paycheck and go along with it? And I feel that right now in July 2020, I finally got to the point where I'm able to get a little bit of the best of both worlds. Because what I largely didn't like about doing these hair videos is the demographics that ultimately I was catering to. See, since I've rebooted with the pompadour undercut, the comments that I'm getting now I like and I can appreciate. Before, and granted, I was building a library of hair loss videos to answer any question anyone could ever possibly ask. You know, over 3,000 videos in 5 years, answering every single question that anybody would possibly ask and making 10 different videos on the same topic. But I feel that I've done my part now. I don't need to do that anymore, which is why I put that link at the bottom, pointing everyone to that one particular video that summarizes it all, sums it down to one thing, and that is asking yourself the right 5 questions and reminding you of the 10 things that you're actually judged on as a man, the 10 things that actually make you attractive. So in doing that, by putting that disclaimer in every video and pointing everybody back to the video, what I've realized is people have finally stopped asking those annoying questions like, Nick, my father is bald, my mother's father's bald, one side's receding quicker than the other, what do? How do I stop this? Those questions are going away because they realize I'm not going to meet them on that level and have that conversation with them. And that is what I did not like about doing the hair videos. Now, honestly, I'm having fun. I feel a more mature conversation. But I think ultimately, the reason the reboot is working is because of the disclaimer and the video that I point everybody to. And I make it very clear, I'm not here to be your Instagram friend. Either have the conversation I'm having with you or don't talk to me about it. Ultimately, that's what I'm being your uncle. I'm giving you tough love here and I'm being real with you. So if we can't have a mature conversation about the things that people actually judge you on, and you can answer these 5 questions to predict if you're going bald, if you can't handle that, then ultimately you don't need to be watching this channel. And I'm finally getting those people to stop leaving those comments. So now I'm making less videos, but I think better videos, ones that I can actually enjoy sitting in front of a camera and talking for 4 minutes, you know, to keep this whole thing afloat. But here's my observation. Comparing my videos now compared to before my most current reboot is ultimately I was attracting young men who were suffering from depression, and in addition to that may have had some kind of conditions such as Asperger's, something along those lines. Because what I was realizing, these conversations were what I was calling the logic loop. No matter what I said, no matter how credible what I said was and mature and helpful, they could never meet me on that level. They kept going back to, but my identity is my hair, and people won't like me or love me if I don't have hair. Even for guys who weren't going bald, they still freaked out about that. And I realized that's not healthy thinking. Not only is it not healthy thinking, but I think it's the mindset of someone who is currently going through depression and or has Asperger's or some sort of autism or some sort of mental issue that I cannot personally relate to. And that's why I've retired from catering to that crowd, because I can't help someone in that situation. I did everything I could, but I can't help them. So basically, I'm moving the direction. And by just doing this new format, I think it's taking care of the problem, where we don't have all these comments from people saying the sky is falling. I mean, a couple months ago, I had someone leave me a comment asking for my help so that I could teach them how to become attracted to other men, because no women would love them because they might go bald. Think about the logic there. Asking a married man, married to a woman, and they're asking me for help with that, as if that were the solution. So I'm not seeing comments like that, and I can appreciate it. We're having the conversations I want to have, and now, arguably, this might be the most fun I've ever had talking about hair videos. And arguably, maybe a lot of it's because I've finally found the perfect hairstyle, this pompadour undercut. And it sells, man. I mean, that's the thing. It's pretty easy to convince viewers watching who are dealing with coming to terms with maybe they have a receding hairline. This is an easy sell. It's masculine, it's cool, it's clean cut, it's low maintenance, it looks cool. So yeah, I'm liking this reboot. I think it's working very well. Granted, I'm not quite making as many videos, but ultimately we have raised the maturity level. And I've accepted I can't help people who have mental issues. And I didn't realize that was what was going on. But I was taking every comment at face value. And now I realize I can't help certain people who have certain mental issues. And granted, they weren't necessarily saying that, but I was able to realize that and therefore change the focus to that link that I put in every video. So I'm happy about this, and I want to thank all of you for following me along in this journey, because I think even though I personally don't care about men's hair loss, at least I can feel okay about talking about this and helping other guys through the process, the thought process, if you're able to have a healthy thought process and realize that ultimately, if I care about anything, it's the least amount related to men's hair, it is knowing how to adopt the masculine mindset, which sure, it has to do with looks, but largely it doesn't. It has to do with confidence. It has to do with you knowing who you are and focusing on what you're good at instead of what you're bad at, and making people think that you're confident even when you're not. So those sort of things I love, and that is really the branding that I'm wanting to move forward with. Secret. YouTube recently changed the rule. If I can make it to 8 minutes, I make more money from the ads. I don't have to go 10 minutes anymore. So that's why at 7 minutes in, I just made sure I kept talking till 8 so I could get the extra ad revenue. Because remember, I'm a guy who ultimately cares about side hustle. As you grow into being a man, it comes down to people one of the things they're going to judge you on is, how does this guy make a living? People pay attention to that. They don't care necessarily how much money you make, but they are paying attention to what are his skill sets and is he able to make money from that. So yeah, that's what this whole thing is about. It's like watching the end of the Matrix and realizing what was really going on the whole time. Ultimately, I care about the side hustle. I care about the $550 I get a month from these ads. And for you, you don't care about the money. You're younger than me. You care about trying to figure out how to be more like a man, a 39-year-old man who has life figured out a whole lot more than you have. That's our symbiotic relationship. And I think it's very important that we're honest and open about that. I'm not going to pretend it's something other than that. That's exactly what this is. Your comments are right here next to that link that will tell you the correct answers and questions if you're still wondering if you're going to go bald and what to do about it. And it'll point you back to those 10 things that society actually judges you on whether you are attractive or not. Forget what society says. Forget what your own brain tells you. Instead, seek the wisdom of Slick Nick, the living legend of hair loss. Thank you for your support. comments belong right here.